Oral history is a method of preserving and conveying historical information, personal experiences, and perspective through spoken accounts provided by individuals who have lived through specific events or time periods. It's a valuable tool for capturing the voices of those who might not be represented in written records. Here are a couple of examples to illustrate oral history. All right, let's see the example. During the World War One or Two, many Holocaust survivors shared their experiences through oral history, interviews, and testimonies. For example, Elie Wiesel, a Holocaust survivor and Nobel laureate, shared his personal account in his book Night. His oral history provides first-hand information, insights into the horrors of the concentration camps and the information trauma and the emotional trauma endured during that period. So now you see. So oral history means it is a method. What method? It is a method of protecting, it is a method of preserving, it is a method of conservation, it is a method of conveying, telling, informing, educating others about the historical information, or sharing the historical information, sharing the personal experiences one had, or sharing the perspective of the spoken accounts or spoken words provided by those individuals who have lived during their time. So we have grandparents at home. So they always love to tell us stories. They always love to tell us histories, right? During our time, it was like that. During our time, it was like that. They say yes or no. During our time, we had no mobile phone, so we go out to play around with our friends. But at this moment, at this generation, we see that everybody is busy in their own phone. Football is available in phone, mobile phone. I mean, cricket is available in mobile phone, carom board is available in mobile phone, so you don't need to go anywhere, right? This is the fact of today's scenario, which is very bad, right? So we as youngsters should always go out and play with our friends. So we should follow our grandparents instead. Like them, we should also try to go to the playground and play. No, don't just sit in the bed, or don't just sit in the chair and scroll your mobile phone and play the games, right? So don't do that. So these are some of the oral history means when somebody is orally speaking to you from his or her mouth that yes, during that time this happened, during that time so and so happened, so and so event we have experienced, pandemic we have experienced, so all these things, right? So example is given here. Holocaust survivor testimonies. During and after World War II, many Holocaust survivors shared their experiences through oral history interviews and testimonies. So now you will see the survivors of COVID-19, you will see the survivors of World War One, World War II, tsunamis, earthquakes, right? So they give you how they felt, the information, how they felt, what were the losses they had, or what was their experience, what were their feelings, emotions at that moment. So they are literally telling you how they felt, but through interviews, through podcast, or just by telling in the form of a story, right? Through their speaking, right? That is called oral history. Now, civil rights movement interviews. So this is also one of the example. The civil rights movement in the United States involved numerous individuals who participated in protests and demonstrations. Many of them shared their experiences through oral history. So this is also an example. Notable examples include interviews with Rosa Parks, whose refusal to give up her bus seat in Montgomery, Alabama, played a pivotal role in the movement. Her oral history interviews provide a first-hand account of her actions and challenges she faced. So this is also another example. If you are interested, you can just browse it and find out for yourself. Now, family history and local stories. So oral history can also be used to document family history and local narratives. For instance, a family might record the memories and stories of older generation to pass down to younger family members. So this is the one I already explained to you. Similarly, community members might come together to collect oral history about the history and culture of the specific region or town. These histories can provide valuable insights into the past and a sense of shared identity. So, always try to listen to your parents, listen to what they have to say, what experiences they had, and don't always trust or believe in mobile phones. Our present physical learning is better than this digital learning. Yes or no? Because when your mom is telling you a story, when your father is telling you a story, grandma is telling you a story, then listen to them, all right? You can find you I mean you cannot find everything in the internet, right? These feelings, these emotions will come only from the person who have experienced that, right? Now, indigenous people's narrative. So you can also see there are many indigenous people in our country, yes or no? For example, let's see. Many indigenous communities around the world have rich traditions of oral history. Elders and community members pass down knowledge, traditions, and cultural practices through spoken words. For example, the oral traditions of Lakota Sioux include stories of the history, ceremonies, and beliefs which are shared from one generation to the next through oral means. Now you see, of course, we believe that before the writing and preserving the information was very difficult, so we orally pass down the information from one generation to the next generation. Yes, right. Just now, as I was telling you, that grandparents they used to tell us their story, parents used to tell us their story, right? And we will also tell our story to our children. Yes, right. So this is the way how we pass down information from one generation to the next generation. Now let's see veterans' story. Veterans of various wars and conflicts often share their experiences through oral history interviews. These accounts provide first-hand perspective on the challenges, sacrifices, and emotions associated with military services. The Veteran History Project in the United States collects oral history from veterans, preserving their stories for future generations. Now you see many victims of war, World War, then Kargil War, then War of Independence, then Revolt of 1957. So all those wars, they have the survivors, right? Which means they somehow manage to survive, right? They have somehow managed to survive that war. So these are the people who tell about their experiences, about their stories, how they felt. Some unfortunately they lose their arms, some their hands, some their legs, right? So they tell us the story. So this is also example of oral history. Another here we have is, in each of these examples, oral history serves as a powerful medium for capturing personal narratives, emotions, and insights that may not be fully conveyed through written document alone. It helps to ensure that memories and experiences of individuals are preserved and contribute to a more comprehensive understanding of historical events and cultural heritage. So, at the end of the story, we can see that oral history is a most powerful medium for passing down information from one generation to the next generation with the help of emotions, narratives, and feelings, right? From one generation to the next generation, what they have experienced, how it was during their time, and how it has changed. So, all this information we can acquire from our elders, yes or no? So, that is known as oral history. So, I think this is all in this video. So, thank you everyone for staying connected with Ashok Tutorials, Meghalaya's first MTech channel. Thank you.